Good evening, everyone. If you don't know, you should know. My name is Rameez Khan, and I'm a filmmaker and a film critic, and this is it, the final review of the Bourne trilogy. I still have the fourth to go, The Bourne Ultimatum.
Listen very carefully to what I'm about to tell you.
I remember everything.
This film is yet again directed by Paul Greengrass, and it is the best film in the Bourne trilogy. And it just dawned on me how ahead of their time these films were, all three of them, as a matter of fact. I remember when I saw this in 2007, and whenever they were showing the CIA and NSA do all their stuff, watching surveillance monitors freely, I thought that was just run-of-the-mill regular stuff the CIA and NSA do to keep their citizens safe. And now that I'm older, 9 years older, I realize how friggin' wrong I was and how, naive I was. This film repeatedly and subtly tells you the dangers of relying on surveillance, and it also shows you the burden a lot of high-ranking officers bear while making decisions sitting behind a computer. Remember, we are only aware of the NSA's abuse of power now. In 2007, I can guarantee you not a single soul was even thinking, hey, you know what they're doing is wrong. Now that we live in a post-Snowden world, and we know it's wrong, you look back at this film and you're like, holy crap, this film was telling you something. The best thing about this franchise is how it never makes its character too big. He matures emotionally and physically, but he never gets bigger than the story. And his story is of getting answers of his past. That is Bourne's goal in this film. Bourne being a badass is not the reason these films exist, but luckily for us, he is a badass. The fight scenes in this film are incredible, and I think there's only one or two of them, but the one I'm talking about is the one which happens with Daesh. It takes full advantage of its environment, and that's the best part about the fight scene. The sleeper agents, Jason Bourne and Daesh, the agents of Blackbriar, they're supposed to be the best of the best of the best, right? They use everything around them in the fight. I mean, Bourne beats up Daesh with a towel. That is awesome, and it feels raw and real. It feels like a real fight scene. Again, no music throughout the fight scene. Incredible stuff. Another thing worth noting is how well edited that fight sequence is, as it's 90% build-up. The fights only last like a minute. There's more of a chase to get Daesh than the actual fight, and still with a limited amount of time, the fight does not disappoint. But it's not the fight scenes, just the fight scenes, that make this movie special. The whole narrative is excellent, and kudos to the marketing, who did an excellent job marketing this film to everyone. It has one of my favorite posters of all time, with Jason Bourne just staring at New York City, and a really cool tagline which says, "Bourne comes home," not just literally, but figuratively, physically, and emotionally. The whole narrative is about him uncovering his past, and it's somewhat of an anti-war film as well. I mean, think about it. Jason Bourne was a mindless killer, an assassin. His memory being wiped was probably the best thing that happened to him. And the finale of this film, he has a great line of dialogue and a callback to the very first film as well, where he asks the assassin who's been sent to assassinate Bourne, he asks him, "Do you even know why you're killing me?" That is a question, I believe, which applies on the war zone as well. And then he follows it up with an even better question, which was also asked by the professor in The Bourne Identity. Look at what they made us. Look at what they make you give. It's such a brilliant scene, which I think it captures the questions a soldier would have. Because war has changed so much now, man, and I'm sorry I'm getting a bit personal, but I don't think soldiers fight for countries anymore. I think soldiers fight for twisted ideals of high-ranking government officers nowadays. Sorry I got personal. Let's get back to the movie review. One thing I love about all these films is how mature they are. These are mature filmmakers making mature films, which lead to great commentaries about the government, but they never forget their cast of characters either. All these characters, CIA, NSA, they are the definition of secret. So how do they get that point across? Well, all the characters act as if everything is normal. Plus the cinematography, the character cinematography is excellent as well. It never draws attention to its own characters, which adds more and more mystique to the CIA. None of them are shot in frontal close-ups. All of their close-ups are from a profile or over the shoulder, and most of the times, especially Noel Vosen, you will see him talking in a profile, and behind him the city of New York. Through the window, you'll see that. It's either that or an American flag will be in the frame. The only character that gets a lot of full frontal close-ups is Pamela Landy. And again, Paul Greengrass and his team of filmmakers knew what they were doing making this film. This is one of my favorite films of all time, and I'm shocked as to how brilliantly and gracefully it has aged since 2007. And I'm a bit sad also because this is Oscar-worthy filmmaking, Oscar-worthy material, Oscar-worthy story. And since I've said that, I'm giving this film a final score of 5 out of 5. This is a masterpiece on more than a filmmaking level. And another great part of this film is you kinda don't need to see the first two to watch this. They fill up the gaps really well. This is one of the most important film series of the 2000s. Thank you so much for watching, people. Are you hyped up for Jason Bourne? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you want to see in the Jason Bourne film come August. Thank you once again for watching, people. Feel free to share this video if you're new to this channel. Feel free to hit that free subscribe button as well. Until next time, remember to love yourself.